Cowboys Nation, buckle up because things are getting interesting down in Dallas. The Cowboys have quietly built one of the most efficient, creative, and downright surprising offenses we've seen in years. And a lot of that success comes from two people who didn't exactly make national headlines when they arrived. Javonte Williams and Clayton Adams. Those are the names you need to remember. Neither was a flashy signing, neither dominated the offseason conversations, but both have been absolutely vital in reshaping how this Cowboys team runs the football and how it controls games from the line of scrimmage. Let's start with Javonte. When Dallas picked him up on that one-year, $3 million deal, plenty of folks rolled their eyes. People said he was done, that the injuries had robbed him of the power and burst that once made him one of the most exciting young backs in the league. Even Denver, his old team, seemed relieved to let him walk. But sometimes, all a player needs is a reset, a change of scenery, a new system, a new group that believes in what he can still do. And man, has Javonte proven everyone wrong. He's running angry again, breaking tackles like a man possessed, and bringing back that old-school physicality that Cowboys fans have been begging for. You watch him lower his shoulder through contact, and it feels like the Dallas backfield has its identity again. But credit where credit is due. None of this works without the man pulling the strings behind the scenes. Clayton Adams, the Cowboys' offensive coordinator, came in with a background that screams trench warfare. He's not one of those flashy, pass-happy coordinators chasing air raid dreams. He's a line guy, a schematics guy, a coach who understands that games are still won where the big men live, in the trenches. He spent years developing tough, efficient offensive lines in Indianapolis and Arizona, and that DNA is already showing in Dallas. When you win a football game missing 4 starting offensive linemen and you barely notice it, that tells you something about the system, the preparation, and the culture he's building. Last year, this Cowboys run game was lifeless. You remember it. Predictable, repetitive, no juice, no creativity. Inside zone, outside zone, rinse and repeat. Defenses didn't even have to guess. And the results showed. Minimal explosiveness, poor efficiency, no rhythm. It was like watching the same slow-motion replay every week. But this year, it's a whole different story. The playbook has opened up. Dallas is mixing encounters, power, pull lead concepts, actual variety that keeps defenses guessing. The percentages don't lie either. Inside zone and outside zone now make up around 40% of the total run calls instead of nearly 60% last season. That's balance. That's unpredictability. That's coaching. The counter game, especially, has been a revelation. They barely touched it last season, running it less than 10% of the time. This year, it's a real weapon, used nearly 14% of the time and succeeding on more than half of those attempts. You can see linemen moving in sync, tight in sealing edges, and Javonte finding cutback lanes that didn't exist a year ago. That kind of execution doesn't just happen by accident. It's the product of detail, of film study, of a coach who understands how to marry scheme with player strengths. Even the situational metrics tell the same story. Against light boxes, 6 or fewer defenders, Dallas used to struggle. That's supposed to be easy money for any offense with a decent line and a capable back. But last year, they were stuck around 5 yards per carry. Now, they're up to over 7. 7. That's dominance. Against neutral boxes, they're better. Against stacked boxes, still better. Even when defenses load up to stop the run, the Cowboys are finding success. That's when you know your ground game is legitimate, when everyone knows what's coming, and you still impose your will. And here's the wild part. They're doing all this with backups on the line. Multiple starters out, constant shuffling, and yet the production keeps climbing. That's not luck. That's system strength. It's coaching, communication, and belief. The Cardinals, by the way, the team Adams left behind, have completely fallen apart in the run game. They went from top 10 in efficiency to bottom 2. That tells you everything about the kind of impact this guy has had in Dallas. Now, I know some fans are worried that success like this might make other teams come calling for Adams in the offseason. But here's why I wouldn't panic just yet. He's a non-play-calling coordinator, which in today's NFL means he's less likely to be poached right away. Teams want the flashy quarterback whispers, the pass-first guys who light up scoreboards. Run game specialists don't get the same attention, even when they deserve it. So unless a head coach job opens up for him, and that's a big leap, Dallas might actually get to keep him around long enough to build something sustainable. Now, let's get back to Javonte Williams, because the numbers he's putting up are straight up ridiculous. Top 10 in carries, top 3 in yards, top 4 in yards per carry, and near the top in touchdowns. He's among the league leaders in rushing yards over expected, meaning he's not just taking what's blocked, he's creating. He's breaking tackles, extending runs, turning nothing into something. He's top 3 in rush EPA, top 6 in success rate, and near the very top in explosive plays. It's not just volume, it's efficiency and impact. Every carry feels like it matters. And keep this in mind, the Cowboys aren't even running the ball that much. They rank near the bottom of the league in run rate, but they're top 5 in efficiency. That's the sweet spot. You don't have to pound the rock 40 times a game if you're making every touch count. They're 8th in rushing yards per game, 4th in yards per carry, and 1st in stuff rate, meaning they almost never lose yards. That's what a well-coached run game looks like. What makes it even crazier is how much they've improved despite adversity. In 2024, Dallas ranked near the bottom in yards before contact, meaning the blocking wasn't creating much space. Now, even with backups, that number has jumped dramatically. Javonte is still doing the heavy lifting after contact, leading the league there, but he's finally getting enough help to hit holes with momentum. It's a perfect marriage between power running and smart design. And all of this, the revamped ground attack, the improved efficiency, the renewed physicality, is feeding into something even bigger. When you can run the ball this effectively, you open up everything else. Play action starts to click. Defenses bite harder. Quarterbacks get cleaner pockets. And guess what? Dallas is quietly becoming one of the best play-action teams in the league again. The numbers over the past 2 weeks have been some of their best in years. That's not coincidence. That's cause and effect. Football is cyclical. The league swings between trends. One year it's all shotgun, all spread, and then defenses adjust and suddenly under-center offenses come roaring back. The smart teams ride those waves, and right now the Cowboys are surfing one beautifully. They've gone back to more under-center looks, which has made their play-action deadly. Defenders are freezing, linebackers are stepping up, and the passing lanes are opening wide. The entire offense feels more complete, more unpredictable, more dangerous. So yeah, Cowboys Nation, something special might be brewing. Javonte Williams looks reborn, Clayton Adams has transformed the trenches, and the play-calling balance is finally there. For the first time in a long time, Dallas isn't just talking about having a balanced offense. They actually have one. The foundation is strong, the execution is sharp, and the identity is crystal clear. This is a team that can punch you in the mouth with the run, outsmart you with the scheme, and keep you off balance for 60 full minutes. And remember, all of this is happening while key starters are still missing up front. Imagine what this looks like when the line is fully healthy. Imagine what happens when defenses have to pick their poison between stopping Javonte or respecting the play action. This version of the Cowboys offense isn't just better. It's smarter, it's tougher, and it's built to last. And it all started with 2 under-the-radar moves that barely made a blip when they happened. Funny how football works sometimes. You can feel it, right? There's a different energy around this Cowboys offense. It's not just about the stats or the wins. It's about how this team is doing it. There's confidence, rhythm, and purpose in every snap. You can see it when Dak lines up under center, when the offensive line explodes off the ball, when Javonte Williams bursts through contact and refuses to go down. It feels like the Cowboys have rediscovered that old-school grit that fans have been craving, but they've paired it with a level of modern creativity that makes everything flow. Clayton Adams deserves a ton of credit for that shift. He's not the kind of coach who needs to scream on the sidelines or chase the spotlight. He's a teacher, a technician, the kind of guy who obsesses over details like hand placement, leverage, and timing. Watch the Cowboys' offensive line this year, and you'll notice how much smoother the blocking looks. Even when second stringers are in, the communication is clean. Double teams land perfectly, the combo blocks climb to the second level at just the right moment, and defenders are getting sealed off like it's drawn up on a whiteboard. That's coaching. That's culture. You can tell the players have bought in completely. It's not just about running harder. It's about running smarter. Javonte isn't simply trying to truck everyone in his path. He's reading leverage, being patient, waiting for those pullers to open the lane, and then hitting it with violence. His vision looks sharper than ever. He's seeing cutbacks, following blocks, trusting the system. And when you combine that with his power, it's a nightmare for defenses. He's one of those backs who punishes tacklers, and you can feel the momentum swing every time he finishes a run falling forward. That's how you wear teams down. Last season, when the Cowboys tried to run the ball, it often felt like they were running into a wall. No movement, no rhythm, just wasted downs. This year, you can sense the confidence. When they line up to run, everyone in the stadium knows it's coming, and they still can't stop it. That's when you know your run game is legitimate. It's not about trickery anymore. It's about execution. It's about belief. And that belief is spreading throughout the roster. You can see it in the way the offensive line celebrates after a big gain. You can see it in how Dak Prescott operates with more comfort because he knows defenses have to respect the ground game again. The play action is smoother, the passing lane's wider, and the offense just breathes easier. It's all connected. The Cowboys aren't just running the ball better. They're playing complementary football, and that's what elite teams do. There's something poetic about the way Adams has rebuilt this identity. He's made the Cowboys physical again, but not in a reckless way. It's calculated aggression. The line doesn't just maul people. They manipulate angles, set traps, and create space with precision. And you can see his fingerprints all over the game plan. The balance between inside and outside zone, the increased use of power and counter, the confidence to pull guards and tackles into space. It's all designed to keep defenses honest. You can't just stack the box anymore because Dallas has too many answers. And then there's Javonte Williams, the comeback story no one saw coming. When the Cowboys signed him, most fans figured he'd just be a short-term piece, maybe a rotational back to eat up a few carries. But he's become so much more than that. He's become a tone setter. You know those plays early in games where running back drags 3 defenders for extra yards? That's when a team finds its heartbeat. Williams is giving Dallas that heartbeat every Sunday. He's giving them attitude. He's also putting together one of the most efficient seasons of any back in the league. He's in the top tier in almost every advanced metric, and he's doing it without being the entire offense. That's what makes it so impressive. He's not getting 40 carries a game. He's just maximizing every opportunity. When the line opens a crease, he's exploding through it. When they don't, he's creating something out of nothing. He's redefining what this Dallas rushing attack looks like, and it's happening right in front of our eyes. Now, it's impossible to talk about this offense without mentioning the way they've adjusted structurally. One of the biggest shifts this year has been the move toward more under-center formations. For a while, it felt like the Cowboys had fallen too deep into shotgun tendencies. The problem with that is it limits your run game variety. Defenses start to read your alignments before the ball is even snapped. Under center, though, everything looks the same, and that's where Adams and Schottenheimer have been so smart. They've disguised their intentions beautifully. From the same formation, Dallas can hit you with a counter, a bootleg, a play-action post, or a power run up the gut. It's simple football, but it's smart football. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In what could be the most shocking offseason move in recent memory, whispers are circulating that George Kittle, one of the NFL's premier tight ends, is heading to Dallas to join the Cowboys. While nothing has been officially confirmed, sources close to the team suggest that talks have been progressing at a rapid pace, and fans in Big D are already imagining the possibilities. Kittle, known for his combination of brute strength and unexpected agility, would instantly transform the Cowboys' offensive game plan, giving quarterback Dak Prescott a weapon capable of turning even short-yardage situations into highlight reel plays. The rumor has sent shockwaves through NFL circles, with analysts speculating about how Kittle's arrival could shift the balance of power in the NFC East. Dallas has long been seeking a true game-changer at tight end, and if the deal comes through, it would mark one of the most high-profile acquisitions in recent years. Kittle's presence would not only boost the passing game, but also provide a formidable blocker in the run game, a versatility that few players in the league possess. Fans on social media are already reacting with a mixture of disbelief and excitement, debating which Cowboys receivers will benefit most and how defenses across the league will adjust. Some critics question the logistics, pointing to salary cap constraints and Kittle's own contractual obligations. Yet insiders insist that Dallas is serious and willing to make bold moves to compete at the highest level. Speculation is also rife about whether this could spark a domino effect, prompting other teams to make aggressive roster moves in response. While the NFL world holds its breath for confirmation, one thing is clear. If George Kittle really does don the silver and blue, the Cowboys' offense could enter a new era of dominance. Rumor or reality, this story has already captured the imagination of fans nationwide, offering a tantalizing glimpse of what could be one of the most electrifying seasons in recent memory. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.